government network. My name is Claire Frost, and I'm here on behalf of the Commonwealth Local Government Forum. I work in our headquarter office based in London, and I'm here today with my colleague, Janine Xavier-Cross, who's based in our Caribbean office in Trinidad and Tobago. And she is the coordinator of our Commonwealth Women in Local Government Network. So we're very happy to be here with you today. And very happy to have the opportunity to address the National Women's Development Committee and tell you a little bit about CLGF and our network. So just to let you know that Janine and I will be sharing the presentation. So I'll be doing up to slide 5, and then Janine will be taking over, and then I'll come back for the questions. My colleague Janine. We're just going to talk a little bit about the Commonwealth Local Government Forum, a little bit of kind of the linkage to why we have a women's network within the organization, and then a little bit around what our network does, and then hopefully how our network can work to support you a bit more and be useful to the women's development committees in Pakistan. So Uma, we can go to my next slide. Okay, we can go to the next slide.
Okay, here you
Great.
have your next.
So the first thing I wanted to do was just give you a little bit of background on the Commonwealth Local Government Forum. So we are a network of local government organizations which bring together ministries of local government, local councils associations, cities, and local governments from across the 54 countries of the Commonwealth. So we have members in South Asia, in the Caribbean, in the Pacific, in Europe, in Africa, Canada. So really kind of bringing together quite a large group of actors in local government. We work around 4 priority areas. So we work on advocacy for local government, so promoting local democracy, advocating for elections, advocating for strengthening decentralization. We implement projects, so looking to build the capacity of our members and our member organizations, and also on kind of intergovernmental dialogue and implementation of work at council level. We network our members, so we bring together councillors, ministers of local government, technical staff from local government and ministries to share their experience, to share their knowledge, and to learn from each other. And we bring together a research network. So we look to build and share knowledge and good practice across our members. We have a research advisory group which links academics into our network. And we have a journal which shares knowledge and best practice on local government issues. We have, of course, I'm based in our headquarters office, which is in London in the UK, but we also have regional offices working to be better connected with our members in the various regions. So we have an office for Southern Africa, for West Africa, for South Asia, for the Caribbean, and also for the Pacific. Now, we also run national programs and project offices, and we have a number of national project offices which are in place. Of course, one of those is in Pakistan, which is co-housed with LCAP. In addition to that, we have 2 networks, and that's what we've really come to speak to you a little bit about today. So we have a Commonwealth Women in Local Government network, which is working to help us meet our commitments to strengthen women's participation in local government. And we also have a Commonwealth Sustainable Cities Network, which is looking at issues around urbanization, cities, and some of the new dynamics of governance that those urban areas are facing. So CLGF set up its Commonwealth Women in Local Government Network at its 2017 conference in Malta. And this was CLGF's response to our members wanting us to work more specifically on women's political empowerment. This, of course, came from our members and the need to diversify local governance, but it also came as a response to the UN Sustainable Development Goals. And I'm sure that you're aware of those goals. And there is a specific goal, Goal 5, which is around achieving gender equality and empowerment for all women and girls. So within that target, where there are issues being addressed around policy and enforcement of legislation, which promotes gender equality, equal rights, around economic empowerment, ending all forms of discrimination. But there is a specific indicator which is about women's full and effective participation in leadership at all levels. And there's a specific indicator which is about women's inclusion in local government. So our network is really looking to respond to and support work to improve women's participation in local government. So, of course, our network is really focused on political empowerment, but there are many more issues being covered within SDG 5. And I think that the workshop that you'll be attending tomorrow will be talking a lot more about some of those other focal areas. So, looking at how we can promote equality in leadership, about how we can promote equal opportunities, inclusion, and non-discrimination, thinking about issues around health and safety and violence against women, looking at education and training and making sure that there are equal opportunities there. And then also economic empowerment and how women need to be better included in supply chains, in support to marketing, and in enterprise development. And then also around community leadership and engagement. Finally, on issues of transparency, measuring, and reporting. So really assessing how we are achieving the targets that we're setting for ourselves and the objectives of our project work. Can we go to the next slide? And I think this is where Janine is going to come in to talk specifically now about our network. So Janine, over to you.
Thanks for having us again, and I'll just continue the presentation to give you an overview of the Commonwealth Women in Local Government Network itself. Network of networks to operate and reinforce, to add value to national level work, build on dialogue and the exchanges, to glean as well as to use best practice, making it readily available to its members, and also to mainstream some of the key principles of gender and equality and equity into the Commonwealth Local Government Forum's wider work program. We also work through the network to mobilize donor funding for initiatives that are aligned to our 4 key priority areas, which I will outline on the next slide. You can switch, Omar. And the first priority area of work for the network is to work with existing elected women to build their capacity so that they are able to be more effective in their roles in leadership and to find ways to overcome barriers within the systems of local government, and as a result, more effectively play their roles in decision-making and in representation. We also prioritize working with prospective elected women at the community level to increase their understanding of the roles and responsibilities of local elected people, and to encourage women to run for council with a particular focus on young women and encouraging such things as succession planning. We work also to remove barriers to women within political systems, and in this way we work with political parties, as well as with local government associations to remove the barriers, working to increase awareness and the ability of elected leaders to include a gender perspective in all aspects of their work. And that could include developing and guiding legislation, developing and strengthening oversight mechanisms, providing that voice for representation, and also key to what we do is improving gender sensitivity in local governments and in local government associations. Our fourth and final priority area for the network is to work at the Commonwealth as well as the international level, gathering best practice and sharing and replicating success, as Claire already kind of shared on. We work to advocate towards Commonwealth bodies to increase women's representation and to strengthen systems of inclusion and gender mainstreaming. And also discussed earlier, to monitor the levels of elected women across the Commonwealth. You can go to the next slide. So how do we connect the Commonwealth Women in Local Government Network with the work that you are doing? And how do we ensure that the messages that your networks and your committees produce are shared across the Commonwealth? You have two key support mechanisms, two key support resources, Maham, as well as myself. And our roles would include supporting and promoting the network, communication support to enhance the network's visibility, coordination activities, supporting planning and implementation. So programs like these, where you need additional support in planning for activities with and around women's inclusion, and to encourage wide sharing of our learnings across the Commonwealth. So some of our areas of focus to date have been on developing strategic plans with such associations as yourself, working on research and advocacy, and developing knowledge products. Next slide, please. For 2021, we have a range of activities outlined in our work program. Some of them I've identified here and I'm able to share with you. We have an ongoing program of mapping opportunities and potential partners for improving women's participation in local government across the Commonwealth. We will be developing knowledge products, which will look at the barriers being faced by women entering local governments and the strategies to overcome these. In 2019, we produced a paper on ICT and women's empowerment. And more recently, we've commissioned a paper on mentoring programs. And this, for example, will provide a resource for you where it will define mentoring and provide a taster of the different models of mentoring systems currently running across the Commonwealth as well as across Europe. Through this mechanism, it will showcase the strengths as well as the weaknesses of such models and allow a starting point for many organizations to implement, develop, and strengthen their own mentoring programs. We also continue to work to capture and share model experiences of women in local government. And that key to that is also being able to inspire other women to participate actively in local government. CLGF uses its website, its dedicated Commonwealth Women in Local Government Facebook page, as well as other social media to disseminate key knowledge and messages, and to reach out to the network's membership. For Pakistan in particular, we've partnered with you and you have a very strong, very active, fantastic YouTube channel, the LCA, it should say LCA TV YouTube channel, which is the voice of the local councils, associations spread across Pakistan. So we use and we share through a range of mechanisms and we encourage it as far as possible. We capture information on women's political participation, and Claire mentioned we also do a journal, but we also produce on every 2 years a handbook, the Commonwealth Local Government Handbook, which would provide data and up-to-date information on the spread and the situation of women's participation in local government across the Commonwealth. And finally, to support all of our efforts in promoting gender equity and equality, it is very useful to note some of the key dates on the international agenda. These are dates which I've shared on the screen, but these are dates that provide opportunities to put women in the center of international advocacy. CLGF will target these events, and where possible, we will ensure that our network, as well as our members, participate in activities around these dates. At the upcoming Commonwealth Women's Forum, for example, that is an activity that is currently scheduled for June of this year. CLGF will be leading in 2 sessions. One will be on gender and climate change, and the other will be on women in leadership. So we've put these dates to encourage you to keep an eye on them, use these dates as mechanisms to promote and to support the direction of the organization. I'll hand back over to Claire now, who will take us through discussions.
Great. Thanks so much, Janine, for that overview. Umar, maybe you can go to our first slide of questions. So what we wanted to do with you for the rest of our short session together is just get a little input from you on, you know, some of the issues that you're facing with women in local government in Pakistan, and then kind of ideas around how our network can feed knowledge and best practice, and maybe also kind of network you with existing members. So my first question was really, what do you feel are some of the barriers that are blocking women from being more active in local government in Pakistan?